Hello. Welcome to more yoga with me, Emily. Thank you so much for joining me today. Um, Core, that's what we're going to do. And it can be as challenging or as gentle as you need. I will give you lots of options along the way. If you are expecting, like if you're pregnant, probably I'm not going to give you as many adjustments as you would need. So this might not be the class for you, but that's okay. There are lots of great classes out there for prenatal core work, um, including just my normal yoga classes. Otherwise, if you have something like a chip foam block or a folded up towel or pillow or something like that that can be used not only to lift the pelvis up when we're lying down, but also for a little bit of extra cushioning for your knees, that would be a really useful thing to have. As always, not necessary. But the best part about a core class is we get to start lying down. So join me on your back. All right, take the time to settle here. So get any little wiggles out. Maybe you test out a few positions and just see which feels best for you today. Your legs could be extended. You could have the knees bent with the feet quite wide so the legs can hang in toward each other. Maybe you choose to take a butterfly pose here with the soles of the feet together and the knees wide. Maybe you're just doing full starfish with arms way out wide and legs out wide too. Just go where you need to go. And then for a few breaths, inhale through your nose and exhale, sigh your breath away. Couple more. And then continue breathing however you need to, whether it's in and out through your nose or your mouth. Really notice how your breath is flowing. And when we are doing core work, twists, or anything like that, you'll notice that when you're bracing through the belly, it's hard to take deep belly breaths. So if you're breathing into the belly now, maybe try shifting the breath up in the torso a little bit. So a little bit more into the middle ribs and the chest. You might even try bracing through the belly, the core a little bit. So you can practice breathing where you need to breathe. And don't get too panicked about the breath. Just breathe however works best for you. Also, don't get too panicked about this being a core class because it's not going to be a full half hour of just core. Don't worry. Last couple breaths here. And then start to bring a little bit of a movement back to your body, whatever way feels best for you to wake up. Maybe a little windshield wiper of the knees. And then start to draw your legs or your knees toward you. Maybe take a little rock from side to side. You could draw hip circles here, or I guess thigh circles in your hip sockets. Either way, maybe the knees are going in the same direction as each other. Maybe they're going in the opposite direction. Last couple breaths, just moving however you need to move. and then bring your feet to the floor. Now, if you have something that can lift your pelvis up a little bit, just a little bit, it's going to help us engage the transversus abdominis, so the deepest abdominal group, I guess, or muscle in the body, and it's the one that really sucks everything in. If you don't have something to bring underneath your hips, that's okay. It's just going to be more work. And then I want you to think of pressing the low back into the floor. If you don't have something underneath your hips, if you do, then it's going to naturally press that into the floor a little bit more. But you can also enforce that. Okay, and then reach your legs up to the sky. So keep pressing the low back into the floor. Feel that engagement through the core, and then arms can be wherever. We're just going to gently start to lower one leg toward the floor, and then exhale, bring it up. And then inhale, lower the other leg, exhale, up. Now, if at any point you lose that activation of pressing the low back towards the floor, back off of the depth of, or how the range of motion rather. And you can always make this easier, right? By bringing one toe taps to the floor, right? Bending the knees. Otherwise, join me here. Keep pressing the low back into the floor. Keep really active through the legs. If your legs are extended, flare the toes. Don't lose that activation of your transversus abdominis, right? The belly button to spine, the low back pressing towards the earth. A few more here. And then bend your knees, shake it out a little bit. If you have something underneath you, remove it out from underneath. So now we're all on the level playing field of pressing the low back into the floor. This time, bring your legs into a Pilates style tabletop. So immediately, as soon as the weight of the legs is forward, the low back wants to lift, right? So press the low back into the floor, hug your legs toward each other, flex through the ankles and the toes, right? So everything is quite active here. And then bring your arms out to the side. Now you might have cactus arms or a robot or a T. And then slowly on your inhale, bring your knees over to the right. Only so far as you can before that left shoulder blade lifts up. And then exhale, come back to center. And then inhale over to the left. Exhale, center. Now if you're losing the touch of the thighs, you can bring something in between. So you have that feedback of holding something between the thighs, keeping them pressed together. So keep these rotations going. And know that at any point, if a shoulder blade lifts off the floor, you've gone too far. You don't even have to go super deep here. You can make it more challenging by extending your legs, so long as you're not going to knock over any furniture, right, wherever you need to go. Keep hugging the legs toward each other. When you return to center, press the low back into the floor. You can make it easier by drawing your knees toward you. I probably should have said that at the start because we're almost done here. Once more each side. And then come back to center. Whew, shake it out a little bit. Little rock from side to side. Let's do one more thing here lying down. Okay, so option one is to have your feet on the floor. Option two is to come back to that Pilates tabletop position. And you're going to extend the right leg away from you, bring your hands behind your head, crunch up. So again, left foot could be on the floor, maybe the knee is lifted, maybe the right toes are on the floor, right? Go where you need to go. And I want you to crunch and twist to the left. And then pause here, a couple pulses. One, you could reach one arm away. You might think of pressing your elbow into knee into elbow as you do this. Keep that right leg really active if it's reaching away. Last 3, 2, 1. Come back to center. Quick break. And then get all the activations going again. Lower back presses into the floor. Gentle curl up. This time extend the left leg away and then twist to the right. Couple pulses. Twist and pulse. Maybe you reach. the bottom arm. Maybe you press elbow into knee, knee into elbow. Right, maybe your feet are on the floor. So long as you're getting these rotational crunches. Last 3, 2, 1. Come back to center. Oh, release. Little twist or windshield wiper of the knees from side to side. And then maybe you rock and roll yourself up. Don't worry about doing a crunch to get up. And then let's meet on hands and knees. Okay, so setting up with your knees underneath your hips. Toes can be tucked or untucked behind you, and hands outer shoulder width apart or wider. So outer edge of the shoulder lines up with the middle of your wrist. And let's go through some cat and cow. So inhale, lift the tailbone, hollow through the lower back, broaden through the collarbones. Hopefully that feels really good on your abdominals right now. And then exhale, round through your spine. A couple more of those. Inhale and exhale. And if there's any other natural movement that would feel really good here, as always, feel free to add on a little wiggle of the hips from side to side, big barrel rolls through the chest. This is sneaky because flexion and extension of the spine is core work, but you feel the release more than you feel the work here. Okay, and then come back to center. Little draw of belly button to spine. Now, option is to just stay on your hands and knees here, or making sure that your fingers are spread nice and wide. Tuck your toes, lift your knees up slightly off the floor, coming into, I guess, a beast position or a hovering cat and cow. Okay, option to stay here, or maybe you take your right hand and tap your left knee, and then back, and then opposite side. Now, the goal here is to move as little as possible, but you are going to move. All right, the weight will shift from side to side unless this is something that you do all the time. Keep the knees hovering, keep the taps going. Last 2 each side. 4, 3, 2, 1. Come down. Hands and knees, little wiggle or shake or cat and cow. Whew. Release the wrists and give them a break. And then make your way onto your belly. So we always think of the core as the front, right? The abdominals. But your butt, your glutes are also part of the core as well as the back, right? Your abdominals can't work without a strong back. So bring your forehead to the earth if you can, and then hug your legs toward each other. Send your tailbone to the back wall. Feel your belly button engage toward your spine. And your legs might be so active here that you feel like the kneecaps are de-weighting. Wrap your shoulder blades onto your back. Inhale, lift the heart forward and up. Baby cobra. Okay, squeeze the bum. Keep the back of the neck long. Don't lead with your chin. Right, imagine that you've got an orange between your chin and your chest. Keep it there. Keep holding this position. Maybe you lift up a little bit higher without pressing into the hands to do it. Exhale, lower all the way down. Bring one cheek to the earth. Take a few deep belly breaths to release through your lower back. All right, come back to center and get all those activations going. So heels to the back wall, kneecaps lift, tailbone to the back wall, belly button to spine, shoulder blades on the back. Inhale, lift the heart forward and up. Now, option to stay here, or reach your arms back along beside you. Palms could face up or down. Try not to clasp the hands because let's work a little bit harder. Maybe you reach your legs a little bit further back so that they do weight as well. Keep the back of the neck long. Right? Think of reaching the fingertips and the toes to the back wall as you hug everything into the center to lift up, maybe a little bit higher. Last 3, 2, One, exhale, release all the way down. Opposite cheek to the earth to balance out your neck. And then bring your hands underneath you. Press yourself up to hands and knees. Little wiggle or shake or cat and cow. Okay, and then step to the top edge of your mat, standing forward fold. Few breaths here. Again, just getting a nice release, nice break from that little bit of core work. You could sway a little bit from side to side. You could rest your elbows on your knees or thighs to get a little bit more support. Last couple breaths, wherever you need to be. And then release your hands with fingertips to your shins or blocks or the earth. Inhale, little partway lift, belly button to spine. Exhale, let it go. 2 more. And then bend your knees. Head heavy, arms heavy. Slowly start to roll up to standing, 1 vertebra at a time. So this, right, is using your extensors, your spinal muscles to come all the way up, as well as hips and hamstrings. A couple loops of the shoulders, up, back, and down. Little wiggle, release, shake it out. So that last class that we did, if you're doing these in order, was all about the glutes. So we're not going to work on the glutes as much today as we normally would, but we are going to do a little bit because they're one of the strongest muscles of the core that we have, right? These guys balance out these guys and these guys. Whew. Okay, you're going to send your weight over to your left leg, little buoyancy on that supporting knee, and then take your right foot out to the side as you reach your left arms out and to the left. Now the move that we're going to be doing is a diagonal reach. So you bring your knee up and then reach. Now if you would like to make it a smaller range of motion, by all means, bring the leg in and tap it, or take the arms out, maybe just lift the hands up to shoulder height rather than overhead, right? Depends on your range of motion, your body, right? Okay, otherwise, join me over on the left leg, and then bring the knee in, press knee into hands, hands into knee, and reach. And bring it in, press, 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 and reach. In and press, and reach. In and press, and reach. And press, 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 and reach. 2 more. Last one. And reach. And then shake it out in the middle. Ooh, feeling that core or the glutes engaged, but as well as the core, right? That bracing of the hands into the knee into the hands. Let's switch sides. So over to that right foot, left leg extended out to the side, right? Your weight really wants to be leaning over to the right. So it should be on a diagonal. Try not to round forward. And then arms reach up. Ready? Here we go. Bring the knee into the hands. Press, 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 press. And reach. And in. Press. And reach. And in. And reach. A few more. And reach. Last 3. And reach. Last 2. Press, press. Knee into hand, hand into knees. Last 1. Hold it, hold it, hold it, hold it, hold it. Extend. And then shake it out. Whew. Let's do some hip circles. Awesome work. You can hear I'm out of breath from doing that. It's the sort of work that will elevate the heart rate. Even if you do this kind of stuff every day, right? It's still going to be a challenge. Okay, come to the top edge of your mat. I'm going to turn sideways just for a moment. Send all your weight into your left foot. So we're switching legs again, and step your right leg back for a lunge. And then bend both knees. Now, the more you bend your knees, the more challenging this will be. Right? Up higher, you're not going to have to work as much through the legs. So go where you need to go. I want to make sure I don't kick over my bookshelf. Okay, bring your hands in front of you. At about shoulder height, press your hands into each other. Feel that now through the chest, and we're just going to take little rotations. About shoulder width apart. I'm going to turn because my foot is slipping. Maybe you're up high, maybe you're down low. Let's start to take them a little bit wider. About another 15 seconds here, right? Push and pull, fight against the rotation. Last 10, 9, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come on up, shake it out. Oh, how's that feeling? Whew. Couple deep breaths. And then we're ready. When you're ready, rather, we'll switch sides. So right leg forward, left leg goes back. I'm going to turn to face the side. Right? Maybe you need to be up a little bit higher on this side. Maybe you come down a little bit lower. Palms in front of you. Press the palms together. Belly bend to spine and take little rotations. Just shoulder width apart to start with. And then can you make them bigger? They don't have to go fast, but feel those obliques firing up as we twist. Last 10. Last 5. 3, 2, 1. Come up. Oh, shake out those legs. Bend your knees. Let's do some hip circles. All right, that's a lot of work for the legs as well. Sneaky. All these muscles that help stabilize us. Okay, shake it out and come down to a seated position. A little shake of the legs, a little windshield wiper. Okay, and then we're going to do a V-sit with a rotation and a reach. It's something that we've done before, my sort of beach ball play, but a little bit different. So option 1 is just going to be sitting here, right? Option 2 is going to lean back. You might interlace your hands here or just touch the fingertips together. Try not to round through the chest or the spine. As soon as you do that, you lose the work, the activation. Maybe lean back a little bit more and take a little rotation to the left. Pause in the middle, reach up. Or sorry, right or left. Oh, I don't know. What day is this? And my brain is addled from all the core. Now you can hug the legs toward each other and get even more activation here. And reach and left. Okay, 2 more each side. Whichever side you're on. Last 2. Last one. Come up. Oh, give me your best jellyfish impression. Oh, releasing through the hips, through the core. Couple breaths. Okay, let's do that one more time, but with a little bit of a change. So hug the legs toward each other. Lean back. Right. This time, grab hold of your big imaginary beach ball, and the option 1 is just going to be rotations without the reach. Option 2, lean back a little bit more, de-weight the left leg. Maybe lean back even more, de-weight the right leg, keep them staggered, or beach ball goes in the opposite direction of your bottom leg. Last few breaths here. 3, 2, 1, back to center. Little release or shake out. One last time, one set, and then we're done. Okay, so come back to center. Option 1, and just the rotations that we did at the start. Option 2, lean back a little bit more. Pick up the legs if you want to. Give it your beach ball. Or de-weight the right leg, maybe de-weight the left. Maybe that bottom leg goes in the opposite direction of your beach ball. Okay, last 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, back up. Oh, shake it all out. Awesome work. Let's lie down. Thank you for joining me on this core adventure. If you want one last sneaky Pilates style roll down, you can do that if you want to. But thank you for joining me on this, you got me out of breath, on this core adventure today. All right, hug your knees in toward your chest and take a little rock from side to side. Let's go into a twist, but a really gentle twist. So take your hips maybe right a little bit, right arm out to the side. Exhale, lower your knees all the way over to the left. This time it doesn't matter if your shoulder blade lifts off. You want to just relax here. Getting a release into the obliques. We did a lot of twisting today. Last breath here. And then inhale, come back to center, reset your pelvis, your spine. Maybe you shift the hips left a little bit to start with. Exhale, lower your knees to the right. Again, as gentle or as deep of a twist as you need, but try to let it be easeful or relaxing, right? So that the feet don't have to hover off the earth. You can really start to allow those core muscles to release. Last breath here. And then inhale back to center. Draw your knees toward you. Take them wide out toward your shoulders or armpits. You could stay here or kick your feet up to the sky for happy baby. You might grab the backs of the thighs or somewhere along your legs, your ankles, or your feet. Now it doesn't matter what your low back is doing. And in fact, if you can maintain that little bit of space, or at least imagine that your spine is in neutral rather than pressing the low back into the floor, you'll get a nice release. And then if there's anything else you feel like you need before your rest, please feel free to do what you need to do. Otherwise, think about where you'd like to go for your rest. You could lie flat on your back, legs bent or straight in Shavasana. You could rest on your side or in a seated meditation or child's pose. Legs up the wall might feel really good. And there's certainly no rush to get there. But once you have found your pose of rest for a few breaths, inhale through your nose. Exhale, sigh. Your breath away. Couple more. With each exhale, let your body melt a little bit deeper into the earth. And let go of all breath control. Let go of any last muscle gripping or tension. And take a moment to thank yourself for coming here today to your mat, showing up for a little bit of core work. Right? Thank your body for doing this for you. Your wonderful, strong body. Stay here longer if you can, 5 or 10 minutes. Thank you so much for joining me today. Namaste.